In such moments, a wildness appears that is fairly obviously linked to self-destruction. I tried to calm myself with the breathing exercises Dr. Rauch has taught me. The slow inhalation through the nostrils, the touch of the breath entering the body, then the out-breath. Letting go that you can, if you choose, sound as a sigh. This is ancient wisdom, dusted off for a scientific age for the National Health Service, the Bristol Liver Unit. Someone was teaching it on the banks of the Ganges long before the Buddha was born. It may have saved countless lives. Steadier, a little, I went to the sink, filled a mug with cold water, drank it, rinsed the mug and went back to the table, picked up the letter again. Perhaps I got myself into a muddle, reading not what was really there, but what I was afraid might be. I read it a third time. There was no mistake. It is, in its way, plain enough. It comes from an organisation calling itself The Commission, and is signed by someone whose name, to me, sounds invented. Ambrose Carville. Ambrose? Is that an Irish name? He is, he says, a witness coordinator, and on behalf of the Commission, he invites me to come to Belfast in October, when they will be examining the events of the summer of 1982. I had never heard of the Commission. I wondered if it was something to do with the Historical Inquiries Team, which is a police outfit that's been working through the Troubles year by year, 1969 onwards. I don't know where they've got to, how close to my year. I have, at some level, I suppose, been listening out for them. But if the Commission is part of the same effort, they don't say so. What they do say, what Ambrose Carville says, is that they have no religious or sectarian affiliations, do not represent or work on behalf of any particular community. The word legacy is used twice. The phrase an open forum, the phrase thorough and impartial. Truth, of course. Truth, justice, peace. In the last paragraph, I am informed, by way of reassurance, that the Commission is not a court of law, that its sessions are private, that it is not their intention anyone's evidence should form the basis of a prosecution. Am I reassured? Not very. The Savile inquiry reported last year. You must have seen something about it on TV. Perhaps you were curious as to why so much time and money had been spent trying to make sense of 15 minutes of mayhem in an Irish city 40 years ago. Someone in Parliament, a Tory MP, works out how many Apache attack helicopters you could buy with the millions spent on the inquiry. Anyway, the soldiers, those men of the parachute regiment involved in the shootings, were offered anonymity and told they could not incriminate themselves. But it already looks like that won't stop prosecutions. It's possible some of those soldiers, men in their 60s or 70s, will go to prison. I couldn't tell you how long I stood there in the kitchen with the letter in my hand. At some point I realised how cold my feet were, my whole body cold and starting to stiffen. I folded the letter, put it back in the envelope, carried it up here to Dad's study. I put it in one of the desk drawers, then took it out, and after studying the spines of books on the shelves, I slid it between a collection of English songs and poems called Palgrave's Golden Treasury, and a volume in cracked blue leather with the nice dusty title of Reform and Continuity in 19th Century Quakerism. I didn't think anyone was likely to disturb it there. More to the point, I didn't think you were likely to find it. You or Lorna. No one else comes up here. And this is where I visit it. Sit up through the watches of the night with Ambrose Carville and my own odd reflection in the window glass. I could, I'm sure, recite the entire letter now, word perfect. I learn nothing new in these rereadings. It is, like I said, plain enough in its way. The tone reminds me a bit of the letters I get from the clinic in Bristol.